I just want to say one thing. Hurry up, because I'm already getting bored. You have the attention span of a fish. Let the man talk. What do you want to say to your audience? Just that you can find the full tutorials of these art videos on my website www.portraitartacademy.com. The link is below. Let's talk about some examples of shadows, where shadows really create a contrast and they create a composition, they create an atmosphere, and they really add something to it. So obviously this is an example of a shadow, very dark, the hair, and then all this blue behind it. Some of it is very sloppy, but you can see that the artist did a great job on the face and some of the other features. But yeah, the highlight makes it interesting too. There's a little bit of light over here. But it kind of gets cropped out this way because of the shadow. So I definitely think the shadows make a big difference here. This is not a painting, but it's a photograph, obviously. This wouldn't stand out so much if this wasn't so dark. So obviously this, if you squint your eyes, you can also always see the shadows and the highlights better. Obviously the highlights play a role here, the light coming through and the lights from the train here that hits the sleeve and the face of the dog. But yeah, definitely the photographer, the editor, whoever, the one who did all the touch-ups, you can see that this has been messed with, right? I mean, this is blurrier and this is sharper, and maybe it was even cropped out. I don't know. Maybe they took the picture somewhere else, but they obviously wanted to create an interesting photograph with the effects of the shadows and the contrast that were available to them. This is also an image, also a photograph where the shadows play a big role. The whole right side is very dark and it makes it a bit more gloomy. She's looking outside the window, a little sad. And obviously when somebody is sad, we also think of dark. We think of light when people are happy, and light on their feet, we even say. So, although that has to do with weight, not light as in physical light. But yeah, the shadows add a lot of atmosphere to it so that it seems even sadder. This one also has some interesting shadows, also has some good highlights, so maybe it's a mix of both. But these shadows here really make it stand out so that this is highlighted, this side of the face. You could even draw that a little bit like that. See, all of this is highlighted while the other side is in the shadows. This is also an interesting image. It's a pretty looking woman with a red dress, which usually appeals to the eyes, as in red often is a color that people think is beautiful to look at. But anyway, the red pops out even more because of the highlights and the shadows. Sure, there are some highlights, but I wouldn't say there's like a white spot that like really pops out. This area is obviously all pretty light, but what really makes this more interesting is these shadows around it. That is what makes the red stand out. If there was a background color that also screamed for attention or that was highlighted or lighter, the red wouldn't pop out so much. And so the red really gets that appeal because of the dark shadow on the right side.